So I'm kicking myself this morning for not bringing my telephoto lens with me. My plan actually this morning was to head over and shoot some salt flats on a different part of the island. But I woke up this morning and there's a really heavy mist, so the visibility is very low. And actually back over where the salt flats were, you couldn't see anything at all. So I actually drove over to the other side of the island in the hope that maybe I might find a clear spot where I could catch the sunrise as it was coming up. It's now, I don't know why I'm looking at my head, I don't have a watch on. It's now actually just after sunrise. But there really wasn't anything over there that was catching my eye. So I've come back round to the west coast of Harris. And I was just driving along and I saw these waves coming in. And I thought, you know, I'd love just to try and capture some nice photographs of waves this morning. It's very dramatic. But I could really do it with a telephoto lens, and of course this morning I was thinking, oh, I don't need my telephoto lens, I'll save for weight and don't bring it. I do have my 24-105, so I thought what I'd do is I'd just see if I can pick out some nice sort of not really long exposures. When photographing waves, I like to keep things at sort of around about half a second, something like that. So you still capture, maybe a quarter of a second even, just so that you still capture the essence of a wave when you're photographing it. But there's some beautiful shapes here, and there's a little bit of light appearing in the sky now as well. I think above the fog it's still quite clear, so maybe some of these waves will just catch a bit of that light as I'm photographing them this morning. So I spent quite a bit of time just watching the waves as they're rolling in. So I want to try and make sure that I'm out of reach of any rogue waves which might be coming in, especially when the rocks are a little bit slippery like this. You just can't really be too careful on mornings like this. But I'm finding that an exposure speed of about a fifth of a second is working best here. That really is giving me just the right amount of movement in the water. And it's so much fun, this kind of photography. What I like to do is I like to have, when I'm photographing waves like this, I like to have the shutter release in and no delay on the exposure on the shutter, so I can just basically just fire off shots whenever a wave comes at just the right moment. Absolutely gorgeous. There's this little bit of rock down here, and as waves are coming in, there's water running down the face of it. So I'm trying to take a shot of that at the moment. I've got a couple of shots like this. There we go. Oh, beautiful. So I'm getting that water running down the face of it, these sort of white streaks down the front of the rock. It might work nicely as a square crop, this image, I think, but it's yeah, quite an intimate sort of shot. There's an awful lot of haze and the mist has come in, so there's not much opportunity really for the wider shot. I think today it's best just to keep it fairly intimate and have close-up shots. I'm really regretting not having that telephoto lens. It's a basic mistake, I suppose. I think maybe the last few days I've spent a lot of time carrying heavy bags around, and I thought I'd just try and save some weight this morning because I didn't think I'd be doing this kind of photography. But yeah, a telephoto lens in these waves would be perfect. So I think it was the right decision to come down here this morning, given the conditions. The other shots I had in mind for here just weren't going to work when the visibility was so low, and I think these sort of intimate shots of the waves work really nicely. I'm really pleased actually with some of the images, just looking on the back of the camera. I think some of them have come out pretty well. Such a shame I didn't bring the telephoto lens. I think if I had the telephoto lens, it would have been nice to have got some actual shots sort of close up of the actual waves. I tried with a 105mm lens, but it just didn't quite have the reach, and I don't think they came out very well. We have another morning here, of course, tomorrow morning, so it might be that I come back with that lens. So it's actually now the following day, and we were just driving past on our way to go and get some lunch, and we noticed that waves today are a hell of a lot bigger than they were yesterday. Absolutely stunning. I've got Hannah with me this time, and more importantly, I've got the telephoto lens. Hannah's using the Lumix S1R 70 to 200mm, and I've got the 400mm here on the Canon. And wow, it's just gorgeous. These waves are so spectacular. I'm trying to go for slightly faster shutter speeds this time. I'm having to push the ISO up a little bit, so I'm looking at an ISO of about 800 or so just to get the shutter speed up, but I really want to try and capture these waves with a fast shutter speed today. I've got polarizer on the lens, and just firing off shots whenever the waves come in. I'm probably going to fill up the memory card, which is what I normally do when I'm photographing waves, but I get so overexcited. It's so exciting, this kind of photography. So it's great because it means we're probably going to be able to get some extra bonus photos to add to this video today.